one of the things in the new Spider-Man game on PlayStation 4 that you have to do, shall we call it busy work, as it were, he says as he falls off a building, is to go around on your map and take pictures of certain landmarks. Don't ask me why, it doesn't make any sense. But I thought might be fun is if we do that in a nice relaxing video. I can Google some of these places as well, and we can learn a little bit more about them. And yeah, it might be quite good fun just to do that. There'll be no combat in the game or anything like that. So our first one's quite nearby. It's just off down there. And we'll just swing our way around New York as we go to find it. I've got a couple of plans for some other types of videos as well, as we kind of like come through, but this I guess is the first one. This is there is the bar with no name, so let me just look this up. With no name, New York. There's a guy over there who doesn't like me. So, the history of it, I think it's a Marvel thing. There are many bar with no names. The one in Ohio is where Firebrand held a meeting. Oh, sorry, the one in New York is most commonly seen. Stiltman's funeral was held here, where Spider-Man and Puma got Prowler out. I can take my thing off. A person called the Bookie later used the bar with no name to show the fight between Spider-Man and Basher on YouTube. So, the most widely trafficked bar with no name is located in New York City. Okay, so there's also one in Ohio. So is this a real bar, or is this like a comic book thing? That's quite cool if they've got like two different, they've got real things and comic booky things, because I guess they've got like Avengers Tower and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. What we got over here? We've got the Morningside University main campus. If you haven't watched my main series on Spider-Man, you can do so if you kind of prefer something a little bit more relaxing. Then, you know, we have this kind of video, and as I said, I've got plans for a couple more as well. There we go. There we have Morningside University main campus. Let's have a look at this. Morningside University. University, New York. So is this, okay, this is Columbia University's Morningside campus type thing, I guess. I don't know too much about that. Columbia's Morningside campus. Oh yeah, that's the one. Doesn't really have too much information about it. I guess it's just a nice looking building. I don't know what that means. Let's Google that. Lumine Duo. What does that mean? The school's motto: "In thy light we shall see light." It's nice. There's a nice statue here. Alma Mater. Someone giving me grief there because I put Fisk away. This is quite busy as well, isn't it, actually? That's quite realistic with the busyness side of it. Okay, well, we've got here the Natural History Museum, okay. Don't seem to be able to get a good swing on here. There we go. There we go. Bloomingdale's. I know Bloomingdale's. Okay. I like the kind of superhero music that plays as well when you swing around. It's very cool. Okay. A Central Park view as well. I guess that's a bit of a landmark. Oh, it's got a Age of Dinosaur. I keep pressing the wrong button. There we go. The Natural History Museum in New York. Okay, let's look that up. Story. We've got quite a famous one in London where I live. Okay. Okay, the American Museum of Natural History, located on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, New York, is one of the largest museums in the world, located in Theodore Roosevelt Park, across the street from Central Park. Yep, you can see Central Park over there. We can get up on the roof. It's got a backpack here as well, by the way. That's a special thing. Might as well get that while we're here. There we go. Get a little good luck card.
Aww, the good luck card from when I left the Daily Bugle to go into research.
Good luck, you'll need it.
Some really great people there. And Jameson.
Eddie Brock. We all know who Eddie Brock is. If you don't know it, Eddie Brock is Venom. Oh, well, it's not true, but, you know, he's the guy who Venom, yeah, anyway. I don't know Betty Brant or Gloria Grant. I know J. Jonah Jameson. I don't know who the top one is there. Good luck with the new job. That's nice. I like those little Easter eggs. So apparently the American Museum of Natural History comprises of 28 connected buildings housing 45 permanent exhibition halls. That's pretty darn big. Can we get like an aerial view? I guess this is all of it here, isn't it? I guess this is all of it here, right? That looks pretty nice actually. Very good. Anyway, where do we want to go to next? Over here. The Manhattan Museum of Contemporary Art. This is a castle that's in the game. Well, it's in New York as well. We're going to take a dip. Go for a Spidey swim.
An assault. I better step in.
No, we're okay, Spider-Man. We don't have to step into assaults. Ooh, now this is fancy. Oh, what game have I been in here with before? This definitely rings a bell. God, what was it? I can't remember, but this definitely rings a bell. I don't think it was the Division. I don't think you got Central Park. Manhattan Museum of Contemporary Art. Let's have a look that up. Manhattan Museum of Modern Art, I guess, or Contemporary Art. So there's another one as well of modern art. Okay, so it was founded in 1977 by Marcia Tucker. Is a museum. No, that's not it. That's not it at all. So this is called the. So hang on, I wonder if it's called something slightly different. Museum of Modern Art. Nope, that's not it either. Interesting. Interesting. Can't seem to find this one. That's interesting. Maybe this doesn't exist in real life. I'd imagine it does. It would be a weird one not to have there. Oh, we got the Guggenheim. Spider-Man just wandering to himself there. Wow. A traditional. This is almost. Okay. so is that part of the Guggenheim Museum? I guess it is. Which is a very, very famous art museum. Oh god. Okay, we'll just get away from these guys. And up here.
Backup needed for a chase in progress. Please mobilize on Museum Mile.
Oh, excuse me while I just sneezed there. Okay, so the Guggenheim Museum. There's one in Spain, I know. I think it's Bilbao, is it? Let's look up New York. The Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum in 5th Avenue, New York City. Often referred to as the Guggenheim is the Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum. It's an art museum located at 1071 5th Avenue. It's a permanent home with a continuously expanding collection of Impressionist, Post-Impressionist, early modern and contemporary art, and also features special exhibitions throughout the year. The museum was established in 1939 under the guidance of its first director, and it adopted its current name after the death of its founder, Solomon R. Guggenheim, in 1952. Interesting. It was designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, who's a very famous architect, actually. What next have we got? Avengers Tower. Now, I have been here in my series, but I actually had a potentially, I was slightly worried about a game-breaking bug. Where it wouldn't load up a couple of my saves, and that was really annoying. There's Avengers Tower. As we are gonna run up the side of Avengers Tower, because we're Spider-Man, we can do that. Have we got to take a picture of the A? Oh, okay, that might be quite difficult. Or maybe not. Avengers Tower. Okay, so Avengers Tower is also known as Stark Tower. It's a high-rise building complex located in Manhattan, New York City, owned and constructed by Tony Stark. Sorry, the tower is powered by an arc reactor that makes it capable of running itself for over a year. The top 10 floors are originally all devoted to research and development. There is a is it in here? There's a backpack somewhere. Oh no, I think it's on the side, sorry. Yeah, up here on the side. Following the dissolution of S.H.I.E.L.D., Stark made the tower his main headquarters of Avengers. However, after the Ultron offensive, Stark refurbished old Stark Industries warehouse upstate into the new Avengers facility. There we go. That's a vial of sand that belonged to Sandman.
Still not sure if opening this would set the Sandman free, but I'm in no hurry to find out.
Stark refurbished, yeah. So Avengers, we used new Avengers facility as a primary base, while Avengers Tower was repurposed for Stark Industry use following the Avengers Civil War. Stark sold the tower and had the valuable items and artifact loaded into a cargo plane for transport to new Avengers facility. So that's in the cinematic universe, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's the comic books. Who the hell knows? It's flipping cool and it's here. Okay, next one, please, is Fisk Tower. Okay, well, we know that's not real. Also, let's dive down here. How cool is this? Probably if I took the camera off, it'd be cooler. So I guess like all the lower bits of Stark Tower were for like his business, but then the upper bit with the A, or Avengers Tower if you want to call it that. Yeah, and then I guess it's all the Avenger bits, or in the top section of Stark Tower or Avengers Tower.
This tower.
There we go.
If I was them, I might start thinking about a new name.
Fisk Tower. Let's have a look up for Fisk Tower. Fisk Tower. Fisk Industries Tower is in front of the Kingpins. It's the front of Kingpins. That is Wilson Fisk Public Ventures. It's located in 439 West 38th Street, on the corner of West 38th Street and 5th Avenue, just north of the Empire State Building and a few blocks southeast of the Bank of America Tower. Yeah, so it's basically, the idea is it's his legitimate front to all his naughty business that he gets on with. So we've got the Lincoln Center, Bethesda Fountain that I've already found. I just wanted to know if I had, because I know I have already found the Empire State Building. I just didn't want to. Radio City, Rockefeller. Okay, fine. Fogwell's Gym. I mean, it might be. Let's go to the Rand Corporation. Things, I guess, might be in a slightly different place to some others. If you haven't played Spider-Man on PlayStation 4, and you have a PlayStation 4, I do highly recommend it. It's a very good game. Even if you're not really into Spider-Man that much, it's good. You don't really need to know that much. Radio City. This is quite famous, isn't it? I don't know if that was the one we were going for actually. Oh, I think it was. Radio City, New York. Okay. Okay, so Radio City Music Hall is an entertainment venue located at 1260 Avenue of the Americas at Rockefeller Center in Midtown Manhattan, New York. Let's go up here and have a look at it. There it is. Nicknamed the showplace of the nation, it was for a time the leading tourist destination in the city. The venue is notable as headquarters for the precision task company, the Rockettes. Radio City Hall was built on a plot of land that was originally intended for a Metropolitan Opera House. The Opera House plans were cancelled in 1929, leading to construction of the Rockefeller Center, which I guess is that, maybe. The new complex included two theatres, the International Music Hall and the Center Theatre, as part of the Radio City portion of Rockefeller Center. The 5,960-seat Music Hall, that's big, was the larger of the two venues. It was largely successful until the 1970s, when declining patronage nearly drove the Music Hall to bankruptcy. Radio City Music Hall was designated a New York City landmark in May 1978, and the Music Hall was restored and allowed to remain open. Okay, so yeah, it's got a very Art Deco style as well, which you can see I love a good Art Deco style. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, the Rand Corporation is what the building we're on. Yeah, it is.
Officers respond. Witness reports an active drug deal. Please proceed to
Rand Corporation. Is this a Spider-Man thing, I wonder? Let's have a look. Rand Corporation. It isn't a Spider-Man thing, it's a real thing. That's embarrassing. Rand Corporation Research and Development stands for is an American non-profit global policy think tank created in 1948 by Douglas Aircraft Company to offer research and analysis to the United States Armed Forces. It's financed by the US government and private endowment corporations, universities and private individuals. Okay. company has grown to assist other governments, international organisations, private companies and foundations with a host of defence and non-defence issues. Okay, I see. St Patrick's Cathedral. It's good fun so far, I like this. And that has pretty much got to be St Patrick's Cathedral, right? Oh, the way Spider-Man ducks down. That's clever. Okay, St Patrick's Cathedral. I love seeing all the little St Patrick's New York. Okay, let's go and hi, how you doing? You alright? Oh, sometimes when people come up to you, you can high five them. I see.
I loved you in the Thanksgiving parade.
Thank you very much. And then somebody else equally doesn't like me. Okay. So St Patrick's Cathedral, Manhattan. Let's get a nice view of that from the other side of the street.
Gotta remember to check it out.
Yeah, the Spider-Man. I'm doing something right now. There we go. It's a decorated neo-Gothic style Roman cathedral in a prominent landmark in New York. It's the seat of the Archbishop of the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of New York, as well as a parish church located on the east side of Fifth Avenue. Considered one of the most visible symbols of the Roman Catholicism in New York City and the United States. There you go. When was it built? So 1810 the land was purchased, and it was built 1814, something like that, 1813. So not quite as old as you probably would think. It is pretty old, but I mean that is old. I'm not trying to do it a disservice there, but not probably as old as you might think. Like churches in England, I'm not saying our churches are better, but I mean they are. But churches in England are much older than that. Wow. Oh, is this the ice rink in the Rockefeller Center? Because that is pretty cool.
All units 1034. Repeat, assault reported.
Okay, the Rockefeller Center.
Officers, please proceed to Bryant. Over.
Rockefeller Center, New York. So Rockefeller Center is a large complex consisting of 19 commercial buildings covering 22 acres between 48th and 51st Street, facing 5th Avenue, New York City. Commissioned by the Rockefeller family. It's located in the center of Midtown Manhattan. Whoops, I don't need to do that. I just wanted to get a nice view there. That's nice. Okay, so it's got 14 Art Deco buildings, so it's like a whole range of buildings. And it was built by John D. Rockefeller Jr., who I believe was I mean, firstly, that if you have a name like John D. Rockefeller Jr., you're gonna do well. Okay, yeah, so he was an oil baron. I believe he was exceptionally rich as well. I don't know how rich, but is he alive? No, I don't think he's alive, is he? No, he was born in 1874, so I'm pretty sure he's not alive, although he did live to the ripe old age of 86 apparently, so that's pretty good going in my opinion. Okay, what have we got? Times Square. I mean, that is probably one of the most iconic places in New York City. A lot of this reminds me of The Division. Division is a game I really love, and obviously you see a lot more from your from the ground. You're not swinging around or anything. But yeah, I've seen a lot of these places in that as well. Look a lot different in Division though, obviously, because of its, you know, kind of post-apocalyptic almost kind of stuff that goes on. Oh my god. So I remember in the Division, this is one of the main missions. You have to restore power to Times Square, and you have to kind of hold the square, and it's a really tough mission actually. And then you see all the billboards kind of come back on. It's pretty cool. There we go, Times Square. Oh god, we've got some people coming. Hang on. Let me run. So I don't. Okay, I think they've gone now. Let's climb up one of these billboards. There we go. I love these awesome looking posters as well they've got. First and last day. Aristocratic Mind, the musical. Kate and Kevin. So Times Square is a major commercial intersection, tourist destination, entertainment centre, neighbourhood in Midtown Manhattan section of New York City, at the junction of Broadway and 7th Avenue. It stretches from West 42nd to West 47th Street, brightly adorned with billboards and advertisements. Times Square is sometimes referred to as the crossroads of the world, the centre of the universe, or the heart of the Great White Way. And the heart of the world, I mean, yeah, not to kind of like blow its own trumpet too much, eh? Jesus. It's one of the busiest pedestrian areas in the world. It's also the hub of the Broadway Theatre District and a major centre of the world's entertainment district. It's a pretty awesome place, in other words. What's over here? Fogwell's Gym. Okay, that sounds like more like the Man with the Dark Past. You see that poster? It sounds more like a Marvel thing, but I don't know offhand. That's why it's quite nice to learn about these as we're going round. Fogwell's Gym. Boom. There we go. Fogwell's Gym. It rings a bell. Fogwell's Gym. Fogwell's Gym. Oh, it's Daredevil. Okay. Fogwell's Gym is a boxing gym located on the Lower West Side of Manhattan. Fighters trained at gym, including battling Jack Murdoch, who, for those who don't know, is Daredevil's dad. Daredevil came here looking for the Fixer to avenge his father's death. He defeated Porky, Sam and other bruisers till Fixer and Slade ran away in the streets. Many years later, Daily Bugle reporter Ben Urich came to Fogwell's Gym to investigate battling Jack's death. Daredevil later returned to the gym after being stabbed by Turk Barrett, where he collapsed and was found there by Maggie. After he recovered, Matt trained at the abandoned gym. Sometime later, Daredevil came back to the gym and saved Don from Bullseye. Well, there you go. It's all a Daredevil thing. Josie's Bar. Oh, that's Daredevil as well, right? Oh man, it'd be so cool if Daredevil was in this. If there was a DLC to team up with Daredevil, that would be phenomenal. You could just take my money right now. I love Daredevil.
Need backup for a vehicle pursuit in progress.
Josie's.
Please converge on Morningside.
Okay. Josie's Bar. Marvel. Okay. Josie's Bar is a rough bar, and Hell's Kitchen has been the scene of many shady meetings. The Bessie organisation is closely watched by Hell Kitchen's protector Daredevil, and he sometimes questions search patrons as Turk and his friend Grotto. Josie, the owner, has few rules. One is to take any violence outside her establishment. Yeah, there you go. I thought it was Daredevil. What's this? Alias Investigations. Okay. I love the fact that it's a combination of like Marvel and real stuff. It's so cool. Alias Investigations. Okay. Taking our pictures. Alias Investigations. Alias Investigations. Investigations is a detective agency owned by Jessica Jones. The detective agency used to have only one employee, Jones herself, and operates out of a rundown office that also serves as Jones' department. Following Kilgrave's death, Malcolm DeCrass joined the agency and received some training becoming a private investigator himself shortly before deciding to remove himself from the agency. There you go, that's a Jessica Jones thing. At Madison Square Gardens, I'm pretty sure Madison Square Gardens is absolutely real. By pretty sure, I'm 100% sure. So let's go and have a look at Madison Square Gardens. Here we go. Again, I know this very well from my time playing the Division, and of course that's in the Division as well, which is the post office, I believe, in New York. Funny that that's not a landmark, but that's your base of operations in the Division. And then Madison Squares, it's slightly different to how it looks in the Division. I don't know what is kind of more appropriate, but yeah. Square Garden. Okay, Madison Square Garden, known colloquially as the Garden or MSG, is a multi-purpose indoor arena in New York City, borough of Manhattan, located in Midtown Manhattan. It is situated atop Pennsylvania Station. It's the fourth venue to bear the name Madison Square Garden. It's interesting, so it's actually been built a few times. Yeah, so it's used for all sorts of sports events, as well as concerts, ice shows, circuses, professional wrestling, all sorts of things basically. It's home to the New York Rangers, the New York Knicks, and was home to the New York Liberty women's national team, but currently isn't, apparently. So yeah, there you go. Madison Square Garden is very much a real place. The Clinton Mission Center.
1072. Reports of armed suspects mugging civilians. Officers needed on scene in Clinton.
Okay. Take a picture here.
And that's why Jonah paid me
There's a backpack here as well, actually. Let's get that.
Possible drug deal in progress.
There it is.
Nearest unit approaches caution. Report came in from Clinton. Over.
Boom. Cracked lid.
When the vulture
What's that
cracked
from?
my eye lens, it almost blinded me. That was a wake-up
Okay.
call. Had to upgrade to a stronger material.
Okay. Clinton Mission Shelter Marvel. So this is a Marvel thing. Interesting. Daredevil took the infant girl suspected to be the Antichrist to the Clinton Mission Shelter, where Sister Maggie took care of her over the following days. The shelter was then attacked by Bullseye, killing and wounded all nuns and homers there. Okay. Bullseye. I don't want to say the rest. There might be spoilers there. But yeah, it's featured in the game. Sorry, in the comic series. Okay, where we got next? Oh my god, there's so many, isn't there? The Daily Bugle. Yes. Well, of course, this is where Peter Parker used to work. In this game, he no longer works there. He left to go and work for somebody else. I'm not going to say, just in case you don't want spoilers. And of course, it's famous editor-in-chief J. Jonah Jameson. I think he's still the editor-in-chief there. He seems to have a podcast. It's very annoying though, so I turned it off. Okay, let's get a nice picture there. The Daily Bugle.
Always a great paper. Even more now that Jameson's retired.
Ah, okay. Jameson's retired from there in this timeline. The Daily Bugle is a fictional New York City tabloid newspaper appearing as a plot element in American Marvel Comics. Okay. So it actually first appeared in the Fantastic Four #2 and its offices in the Amazing Spider-Man #1, because obviously Peter Parker worked there. first film. It was first featured on film in the 2002 film Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. That would have been. So, yeah, it's been owned by lots of different people, including Norman Osborn and J. Jonah Jameson. What's next? I don't know if we're going to do all of these today, otherwise it might be too long. Maybe we could do two. We might just do the rest of the ones in here, and then we can do another video on all the rest of these, because there's a lot. So this is going to be Grand Central Terminal. That's the train station, I want to say. Also featured in The Division. New York's such an iconic city, isn't it? It's crazy. Is Grand Central Terminal as featured in The Division. Okay, Grand Central Terminal. Okay, we'll get up on top of it so we don't get the road signs. Yeah, also referred to as Grand Central Station. The terminal serves commuters travelling on the Metro North Railroad to Westchester, Putnam and Dutchess counties in New York, as well as to Fairfield and New Haven. It also contains a connection to New York subway as well. Okay, we'll just sit here for now. The Grand Central Terminal's distinctive architecture and interior design have earned it several landmark designations, including a US National Historic Landmark. The terminal is one of the world's most visited tourist attractions, 21.9 million visitors in 2013, excluding train and subway passengers. Wow. When was it built? Opened in 1871, it was rebuilt in 1913, and then between 1994 and 2000. There you go, that's pretty crazy. Oh, the actual terminal, sorry, was built in 1903. There you go, bit of history there. Okay, the Wakanda Embassy, Wakanda forever. So Wakanda is Black Panther, in case you didn't know. That's the country that Wakanda is king of, I guess. Oh.
I wonder if King T'Challa got his powers from being...
All units 1034. Repeat.
Oh, it's a shame we just got interrupted there by the thing. I wanted to know what he was going to say. Embassy of Wakanda. Okay, I don't think we probably need to look up that too much. I can just tell you that is the New York Embassy for the country of Wakanda, which is a fictional country who... Well, I actually probably won't even spoil it if you haven't watched Black Panther, but Black Panther's a pretty good film, so you should check that one out. The Chrysler Building, that's real. Let's go on foot to this one. He says as he just all runs everywhere. I mean, technically he's on foot, right? Okay, so this is the Chrysler Building.
Witness report of an active drug deal. Incident was active near Grand Central.
The backpack is underneath in that tunnel. Let's get the backpack first. It's a New York snow globe.
I bought this snow globe for MA.
Why the hell did you put it in a backpack? Why did you put it in a backpack and web it to the top of a tunnel? I don't. Spider-Man. I love that. Okay. So this is the Chrysler Building. I mean, it's nice enough looking, I guess. Let's get a good view of it. Oh, United Nations building, is it? Why is it? Is that not the? That's not the Chrysler Building. We went to a different one. Did we? confused myself there. Yeah, we went to a different one, sorry. This is the United Nations, so obviously, those who don't know, it's the United Nations is an intergovernmental organisation tasked to promote international cooperation and to create and maintain international order. It was established after World War II with the basic aim to prevent such a thing happening ever again. Who knows if it will be successful? Hopefully it is, because no one wants that again. I'm pretty sure of that. So when it founded, it had 51 member states. Now it has 193. Current Secretary General, which is like the highest ranking, I guess, politician in the world, is Antonio Guterres. Recently, Kofi Annan, who was probably one of the most well-known Secretary Generals, recently died, actually, sadly, but did a lot for promoting peace in the world. Okay, here's the Chrysler Building. Yes, that looks a bit more familiar. I'm getting shot, don't worry about it. If we want to get a good shot of this, where can we go? Ah, over there. Okay. Nice. Yeah, I love the way the Chrysler Building looks.
I love photography.
Chrysler Building. Here we go. So it's an Art Deco style skyscraper located in east side of Midtown Manhattan in New York City at the intersection of 42nd Street and Lexington Avenue. At 1,046 feet tall, the structure was the world's tallest building for 11 months before it was surpassed by the Empire State Building. In 1931, it's the tallest brick building in the world with a steel framework. As of 2018, the Chrysler is the 8th tallest building in the city, tied with the New York Times building. Tied? How do you tie a building height? Can't you just extend the antenna a little bit? So it was originally constructed by Walter Chrysler, the head of the Chrysler Corporation, and served as corporation headquarters from 1930 until the mid-1950s. The Chrysler Building construction was characterized by competition with 40 Wall Street, and the Empire State Building became the world's tallest building. Although the Chrysler Building was built and designed specifically for the car manufacturer, the corporation did not pay for its construction and never owned it. As Walter B. Chrysler decided to pay for himself, that his children could inherit it. Oh, that's interesting. How rich must you be to just be like, yeah, I'll just pay for it. There you go. I just pay for this skyscraper. The Simkarian Embassy. I don't know the Simkarian Embassy. I'm not that au fait with Simkarian. I'm gonna definitely look that one up because I don't know the Simkarian Embassy. Oh, let's look up Simcaria Marvel. Okay, Simcaria is a fictional Eastern European country. The fictional country is mostly known as being the home of Silver Sabre and the Wild Pack team. Okay. Yeah, I'm not really familiar with. It's supposedly between like Romania, Hungary, Serbia, places like that. There you go. And then I think this is the last one in this area, which is Madison Square Park. Let's go around here. Okay.
Armed robbery in progress. Officers near Gramercy, please report.
Madison Square Park, yay. That's. Oh, apparently we're missing 2 in this area. So we'll do. What 2 are we missing? Oh, it's got to be that one up there, which is the Queensboro Bridge. And. Do we think that one counts? Nah, that's got to count down there, surely. this one here. I think this is featured in. This looks like it's featured in Black Panther, but I don't know. This looks like that scene. Okay. There we go. Oh, the Flat. Oh, of course. Yes, the very famous Flatiron Building. So that was part of it. Let's look up the Flatiron Building. The Flatiron Building, originally the Fuller Building, a triangular 22-story steel-frame landmark building, located at 100. Oh God, run! Run! It was one of the tallest buildings in the city at 20 floors high. It was one of only 2 skyscrapers north of 14th Street, the other being the Metropolitan Life Insurance Company Tower. That's interesting. The name of Flatiron derives from its resemblance to a cast iron clothing iron. That's interesting. Okay, so we're kind of going the wrong way.
Attention unit. Witness report of an assault in progress.
Okay, the Queensboro Bridge. I wonder what it holds inside now. The Flatiron Building. I was nearly in the water. I have no idea, by the way, what happens if you land in the sea. I know if you land in certain water, you just swim. Maybe it's the same.
All units, we have a vehicle pursuit in progress. Proceed to Sycamore. Over.
There we go. That should get us a good view. That's the Queensboro Bridge. Let's look up the Queensboro Bridge. Bridge. So, the Queensboro Bridge, also known as 59th Street Bridge, because its Manhattan end is located between the 59th and 60th Streets, and officially entitled the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge. It's a cantilever bridge over the East River in New York City. That was completed in 1909. It connects the neighbourhood of Long Island City in the borough of Queens with the neighbourhood of the Upper East Side Manhattan, passing over Roosevelt Island. You can see there's a raft, the prison facility over there. Queensboro Bridge carries New York State Route 25, which terminates at the west. No tolls are charged for motor vehicles to use the bridge. How about that? So it's 109 years old. This goes to show if you build things properly, they last. Okay, well, we are going to finish up there next time. We'll have a look. Oh, actually, we got one. We missed one, didn't we? We missed Raft. So I guess we can go along Queensboro Bridge. Okay, how the hell do we get to Raft then? Okay, we can't do Raft.
Officers be advised, a mugging was just reported.
Okay, I can't swim there. I think that unlocks later in the game, so we'll have to do that at a later date, I guess. But yeah, until then, guys, I'm a bit wet, but oh, let's just get this backpack. There it is. While we're here. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh, oh. No, don't want to give me that backpack, no. tell you what, I'll do that off camera rather than annoy you guys. But till then, thanks for watching, and we'll do a second part where we look at the rest of them. But till then, thanks for watching. See you.